Ah! Hey everybody, welcome to the ReCoop. I'm Cooper Daniels and I'm a guy that knows a little about a lot. And today we're continuing with the crypto series and we're talking about AMP. Yep, we're talking about AMP token for the first time. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what it is, how it works, what's my bull case, what's my bear case, and also I'm going to discuss some of this annoying price action. And then in the end, I'm going to speculate a bit and even give you a price prediction for 2021. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be like a ReCoop TED Talk. Hopefully quick, easy to understand, and almost certainly a shit show. So let's get into it. First off, what's up everybody? All right, AMP token. What is AMP token? Well, AMP is a collateral token for the FLEXA Network. What's the FLEXA Network? The FLEXA Network is an all-digital payment network that focuses on privacy, being fraud-proof, being immediately final. It allows you to use several different cryptocurrencies to make everyday purchases, okay? It seeks to be in all of the different areas of your life. You can buy coffee with it, you can buy clothing with it, you can buy groceries with it, you can go to the movies with it. Soon you'll be able to buy gas with it, you'll be able to do all your online purchases with it, and you'll be able to go to the bar and the restaurants with it. It is looking to spread into all walks of life, and they are currently in many of those walks of life. You can go to a Nordstrom's, a Dunkin Doughnuts, a Jamba Juice, a Whole Foods, Lowe's, Petco. There's a lot of different places you can right now, today, use the FLEXA Network and spend your Bitcoin, your Doge. You want to spend your Doge, you can do that right now. You can spend your Doge. You can buy a cup of coffee with the Doge. Go to Dunkin Doughnuts, confuse the hell out of them, and they'll realize that they can take Doge. So that's just real quick, right? Okay, so the FLEXA Network is that. The FLEXA Network was created in early 2018 by a guy named Tyler Spalding, another guy named Zachary Kilgore, and Trevor Filter, right? Yep. Tyler Spalding seems to be the face of the operation. He's the main guy. He's an impressive dude. He was a former engineer at NASA. He worked at Lockheed Martin for their space program. The dude's impressive, and now his mission is to completely disrupt the payments industry, freaking punch Visa and MasterCard in the nose and kind of take over. And frankly, he's finding some success in doing so. So like I said, let's say I wanted to buy a pair of shoes at Nordstrom and I wanted to spend Bitcoin, for instance. Okay, I go to Nordstrom and I pick out my shoes that I like, and then I say, hey, I want to buy it with Bitcoin. And they're like, what? And then I'm like, I'm going to use the FLEXA Network. And they're like, oh. And then I'm like, scan this thing. What if they just natively accepted Bitcoin? Well, I would go there and Nordstrom's wouldn't know if my Bitcoin transaction was going to go through for at the very least 20 minutes. But sometimes Bitcoin transactions can take even longer. But let's just say it takes 20 minutes. So I'm going to buy these shoes and wait next to the cashier for 20 minutes to make sure this thing is final. That's not going to work. What FLEXA does is it says, no, use the FLEXA Network. And what we will do is we will promise the merchant that that transaction will go through. And if it doesn't, we will liquidate AMP token to reimburse the merchant so they get what they were expecting. That's how it works. So AMP is the collateral. And how does that work? Well, a bunch of AMP holders stake their AMP and they earn a yield. And so that's the incentive for them to stake it. And so it's that staked AMP that gives FLEXA Network the power to allow a bunch of transactions. I believe currently the FLEXA Network has about $1.3 billion worth of AMP. And so that means that they can assure up to $1.3 billion currently. That's a lot. So that's the way it works. It's a collateral token. It's kind of like if you went to the bar and you gave them, your credit card, and then you get hammered, throw up in the bathroom, hop in an Uber, and you forgot to pay them. Well, guess what? They have your credit card, they have the collateral, and the restaurant or the bar can make sure that they get paid. So basically, AMP is your credit card at the bar. Anyways, okay. It's something like that. So I think you get it. I think you understand. Merchants have every reason to want to accept this. And they have a lot of incentive for cryptocurrency to be the way we pay for things. They pay 3 to 4% to these credit card companies. Walmart last year paid about $5 billion worth of credit card transaction fees. Now, AMP only charges the merchant 1%. They take that 1% fee and they buy AMP on the open market, and then they distribute that AMP to the stakers. So it's not like they're pulling from a treasury and creating inflation and paying the stakers from that. They're actually creating buying pressure for AMP by using that 1% to buy on the open market and then distribute it that way. So that's pretty cool. Now we're going to talk about something later that might actually give you a little bit of insight on that particular subject and why the price action is a little bit stagnant right now. We haven't even discussed the fact that FLEXA has gained regulatory approval. It is compliant in New York State. New York State is one of the hardest places to be compliant. It's headquartered in New York State. FLEXA has focused hard and has worked hard to have approval from the regulators. And it is going to pay off huge. They're doing it right. And it supports a lot of different cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Algo, Doge, Litecoin, Lumen, Zcash. There's a lot. Stable coins like USDC, Gemini dollar, also accepts US dollar and Canadian dollar. The merchant doesn't need special hardware. It makes so much sense. They're going to save a ton of money on transaction fees. What's wrong with it? What the hell could possibly be wrong with AMP then and FLEXA Network? Well, there's a couple things wrong. I mean, for one, do people actually want to spend their cryptocurrency? That's a question you could ask. I think that's a fair question. I think that people expect their cryptocurrencies just to go up in value. So do people actually want to spend it? I believe eventually, especially as we get closer to mass adoption and cryptocurrencies become more and more mainstream, they are going to want to use it. AMP and FLEXA aren't even online yet, and that is coming probably this year. They said the end of summer for Shopify. So there's that. Okay, fair question. Do people want to spend it? Second, well, it's an ERC20 token, trying to move it from an exchange to a Ethereum wallet to staking it. It's expensive and annoying. So you're going to want a pretty big bag of AMP before you spend all those gas fees to get it to staking. Somebody today said that they're staking it on Lightning because Lightning just got integrated in FLEXA. That's another bit of news that I didn't even talk about earlier. Lightning is integrated so you can do your Bitcoin Lightning transactions on FLEXA, which will allow Lightning to get into more regions because of the regulatory approval of FLEXA. Also, the largest financial institution in El Salvador, Banco Agricola, is using the FLEXA network for their Bitcoin transactions, for paying off loans. All the financial services that they do at the largest financial institution will be using FLEXA. If you stake with Lightning, you're getting like an 8% yield, right? 7.7%, I think, currently. And then if you do it at SPEDN, that's like 4 or 5%. And then with Gemini, it's only in the 2s, I believe, currently, because there's a ton of AMP staked with Gemini. Right now, if you're going to move your AMP and stake it, which you should do, I mean, you could hold it on Gemini and their earn program and earn a little less than 2%. That's fine. If you have a smaller bag, you may want to do that while you're accumulating your bag to move it. You know, just have it in earn, and then eventually when your bag gets big enough, you might want to move it over to staking, because you can earn, like right now at Lightning, get 8%. That's constantly compounding, right? I'll put a link into the description of this video for Gemini if you want to join. So what's my bear case? Okay, ERC20 token, expensive gas fees. That's annoying. Do people actually want to spend it? Valid question. There's also what is somewhat bearish, I guess, the price action. You know, it's been sitting between 4 and 6 cents. It feels like forever. It hasn't. I mean, it was up to 12 cents not that long ago. I saw it go up to about 7.5 cents recently. But no, it's been sitting between 4 and 6, like 4.5 cents to about, you know, a little bit over 6 for a while now. It's been annoying, right? And why is that? You know, you go online, everyone's like, it's being manipulated. And it is. You see these sell walls, these like, you know, 2 million plus sell walls that just seem to always exist, just a little bit further out of reach. And it feels like they're trying to keep the price down, right? Well, there's also, I was discussing earlier, the 1% transaction fee gets used to buy AMP on the open market and distribute it to the stakers. Well, actually, during coronavirus, during the pandemic, FLEXA adjusted that and they made the transaction fees 0%, and they've been using the treasury to pay the stakers. So that has caused probably inflationary pressure. I don't know if that's over now and they're back to charging the 1%, but that exists for sure. I didn't even talk about the tokenomics. So there's going to be 100 billion AMP in existence by 2045. but no more than that, right? And they're really slowly increasing the amount that are circulating. And so it won't be fully diluted until 2045, which is good. That gives a cap. We need a cap. Obviously, 100 billion is a lot, but there is, I think, currently 48 billion circulating, if I'm right. And it's sitting around just under 5 cents last I looked. That's where we're at. Now, look, this is the deal about my speculation. Shopify is going live any day now, really. There's also speculation on AMC and stuff like that. I mean, all of that is great. El Salvador is huge news. AMC is cool. That's fun. What is really going to be a huge catalyst for AMP and FLEXA is when online transactions go live. Now, I know it's a bit annoying for me to talk about Amazon. I know BitBoy pumped this, and look, we don't know for sure. But if you really think about it, why the hell wouldn't Amazon use FLEXA? There is literally no reason that they won't, because they get to say, okay, we accept cryptocurrency now, and then they can still get paid in their US dollars or their Canadian dollars or whatever they want to get paid in. And it costs them less than a credit card transaction fee. They paid over $1 billion in credit card transaction fees last year, and they're going to pay a third or a quarter of those fees if they accept cryptocurrency instead of credit cards. And they get all of the hype of that. And then not to mention, it kind of blurs the border between Canada and the United States. Because if the Canadians want to order something that is in US dollars, they can use FLEXA and get a very fair exchange rate, and Amazon or whoever, the merchant, can get paid in US dollars. They can pay in Canadian dollars, and then the merchant can get paid in US dollars. So it has that added flexibility right there. There is every reason for Amazon to accept it, and that would be a watershed moment for AMP and for FLEXA, because people will spend their cryptocurrency if they can do it on Amazon. It's just going to happen. And I believe, they already, FLEXA already has a relationship with Whole Foods. They have history with Whole Foods. Amazon owns Whole Foods. There's all that type of stuff too. But just out of pure logic, this is going to happen. And then you're going to be able to buy your gas with it. You're going to be able to go to the bar with it. This is going to be a catalyst for cryptocurrency in general, I believe. And I 100% think that once online transactions go live, this is going to explode. And there may be a reason why these whales are trying so hard to accumulate at these low prices. Okay, so I said I'd give a price prediction for 2021 by the end of 2021. Well, we know Shopify is going live. We know they're down in El Salvador. The amount of AMP staked is they're going to need more and more and more and more AMP staked. This thing is going to pop. So by the end of 2021, which is not a long time, by the way, the quarter four starts October 1st. I think by the end of this year, we're going to see 25-cent AMP. AMP's a long-term hold, folks. I believe in it. I think it's good. Even though I know there's a lot of discouraged people out there. A lot of discouraged people. All right, everybody. Hey, this is my first AMP video. More to come. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe. And if you want me to keep talking about AMP, let me know in the comments. I believe there's going to be a lot to talk about moving forward. This is a really impressive team. My non-financial advice is load up for the explosion. I think it's coming. All right, everybody. Like I said, hit the like button, subscribe, and yeah, thank you for watching. Do your homework.